everybody! Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Nukenites, moving on to the second set. Another ZVZ for you ZVZ fans out there. And for you people who hate ZVZ, you've got to be groaning. But this is going to be Crazy-Hydra versus S2 on Fortress. Except, oh, they changed the colors. But over at the 8 o'clock position, in beige, is Crazy-Hydra. That means over at the 3 o'clock position, in red again, is S2, very fiery red. S2. Doesn't quite have the same cachet as Jaedong, but whatever. Yeah, Crazy-Hydra is actually a very, very recent acquisition for KT Rolster. It's kind of odd that they're playing him this early after getting him from Wunjin Stars. They must have a lot of confidence in him, that's for sure. Maybe they're just eager to try out their brand new, well-rounded Zerg player. As Grandpa UUV looking on, back in my day, we played one base the whole game. Actually, UV was one of the pioneers of macro-style builds, so I guess that's not quite accurate. But I'm still going to use the grandpa voice for him anyway. But Crazy-Hydra, as I said, is a well-rounded Zerg player. He's not fantastic, but he's not bad. He's good. Right there in the middle. So he was a good acquisition for KT Rolster to get, because they have Hoja, who underperforms. They have Action, and you saw how Action played in that last game. Just couldn't quite get to his Eastro level of play. But I don't see the spawning pool yet for either player. Spawning pool just now coming down after Extractor. Oh my jeez. That's even better than UUV's hair. It's like a treble up there or something. Well, I know what I'm doing tomorrow. But Crazy-Hydra just now putting down, yeah, I think that was a 12 pool from him, and then the Extractor first before spawning pool for S2. So pretty mirrored builds from the two. And Crazy-Hydra has had pretty good ZVZ as of late. As I said, he's well-rounded, he's good, but not great. But he has the potential to be great, and I think that's why KT Rolster picked him up, because they need a Zerg player with a lot of potential, just like Action. But oh, there is that fantasy passing a trash bag over for some reason. Put some cookies in there for me, Bisu. But the second base on the way for Crazy-Hydra already, going straight for his expansion. And the lair coming up soon. This is almost like an opposite of the last game, actually. Where Action went for the early lair off of one base and whatnot, and S2 went for the... Actually, it's almost exactly like the first set, only on the other side. So this will be interesting to watch. Ranchin said that to tell you that he wanted to be here. Well, yeah, he did want to be here, but it's all my fault, basically, because I just wanted to do a solo thing because I have a very packed week. Jeez, what is with all these weird things in the audience? Always distracting me. But yeah, I've been very distracted this weekend. I just wanted to get some quick commentaries out as quickly as I can, because doing a duel of things like this is about twice as much work in the editing process. And I just didn't feel like that this weekend. Had a loss in the family and just, a lot of ickiness. I'm starting to get a little bit sick too, which I might sound a little flimmy, I'm not sure. But yes, I usually don't get full on sick. I usually just get kinda sick. But anyways, back to StarCraft. Remember that game? As Crazy-Hydra does have his second base up, some aggressiveness coming in. Speed upgraded Zerglings actually for S2. He just got the speed upgrade. So this could work out a lot better than it did in the last set for Action, but no, retreat, actually, I see from S2. He's retreating. I'm surprised, because he did have more Zerglings than Crazy-Hydra, and plus he had his speed upgrade. But of course, Crazy-Hydra has his speed now, too. So S2 is retreating for the exact same reason that Action retreated in the last game, trying to play defensive and fight off a two-hatchery Zerg player who is just continuously pumping those Zerglings. So both coaches looking very, very, well, kind of sweaty, but also kind of suspicious and worried. But as you can see, the lair is up. Here comes the Spire for Crazy-Hydra, and it'll be a little bit later, actually quite a bit later than S2's Spire. But S2 did get his Spire out first, some Mutalisk out to defend himself against this. It's kind of wild how similar this is to the last game, but Crazy-Hydra going in for a crazy attack. I don't think he's going to make it, because that is a pretty good arc from S2. It's going to be very difficult to break. So if Crazy-Hydra wants to do this... Oh, he's backing off. Didn't even try it. Didn't even press his luck at all. And S2 is moving out with his Zerglings, trying to get in a better defensive position at that natural, so he might be able to take the natural expansion for himself. Looking around for some Zerglings, but the Zerglings coming in now for Crazy-Hydra. Yeah, the reinforcement Zerglings, they were going to clean this up, and Crazy-Hydra forced away, didn't have nearly enough Zerglings. So now it looks like S2 might actually do the attack very soon, because he has his Mutalisk out, and he has his second hatchery down. And one single Zergling snuck in, but I don't think that's going to be a huge deal. More Spore colonies coming into ZVZ now, but S2 might be able to get it done before that. No, the Spore pops up at the natural expansion, so S2... Is S2 going to be able to make his way through? I don't think so. If he had reinforcement Zerglings there, he might have been able to do it, but... I just got to wait a little bit longer, trying to get some harassment, because the Spore colony is actually very far away from that mineral line. It's kind of strange that the Spore colony was so far away, but it is helping give some Sim City for Crazy-Hydra at the front. I think he is building, yes, another creep colony behind his base, make it easier for himself to get the mining done without being harassed constantly by mutas. But now the muta's out. Spore colonies coming up at each base, and S2 is going for the main, going straight for that main, or just trying to hover between. He's looking for Zerglings, I think, to snipe. Any kind of units, any kind of small victories, as I said in the last game, to snipe, work his way back up economically, because he is putting down his own second base. So as soon as that pops up and he has that mining... Oh man, Crazy-Hydra sniping a muta as soon as it pops out. Oh, that was insane. Almost said crazy, of course. Yeah, whenever a player has perfect or crazy in their name, I have to say it. But, oh man, Crazy-Hydra pushing in with Zerglings. Those should be cleaned up pretty easily. Yes, the Zerglings are cleaned up pretty easily. But now S2 getting some drone snipes, trying to make up for that Mutalisk loss. But the Scourge getting the job done, and Crazy-Hydra, he's going to have to follow that up with something, though. More Scourge landing. Crazy-Hydra Scourge really getting it done, but S2 is getting some harassment. Oh, more Scourge landing. Oh, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So S2 is actually almost evening it up by doing this harassment, though, because the Spore colony is so far away from the minerals at each of the bases that it's actually pretty easy for S2 to get that. No, not more Scourge. S2 trying to fly away from the Scourge. You can't lose a fourth Mutalisk to Scourge. Oh my god. But, yeah, he does micro around with the rest of his Mutalisk and gets rid of those Scourge. So T1 fans in the audience are very happy about that. Yay, you didn't lose something to Scourge. Hooray! But, wow, very, very poor drone saturation at that main. Hello, white people. As it looks like S2 is going through with a single Zergling, just try to snipe more drones. Wow, way limited drone count for Crazy-Hydra at the moment. I mean, the big advantage of having two bases this early with the defensive spores and whatnot is that it gives you a stronger economy, but the economy is dwindling now for Crazy-Hydra. He lost a lot of drones to that Mutalisk harassment. That was some excellent harassment from S2 under duress as he was losing things inside of his own base. But S2 still coming through. There's still just two Spore colonies. I mean, I don't see a way that Crazy-Hydra can put down more Spore colonies and keep his economy running. So he's going to have to make do with what he has. Still hasn't pumped any Mutalisk, so he's just trying to drone back up after losing so many drones inside of his main earlier in the game. But now S2 grouping up some Zerglings, and he's going for a big attack at the front. If he can take out that Spore colony, I think it'll be a lot easier for him to get this done. But the Spore colony at the front, some nice SimCity is helping out Crazy-Hydra quite a bit. But more Zerglings are on their way, snaking down through the map over to this 9 o'clock position, and now Zergling's pushing their way through. Crazy-Hydra trying to defend the best of his ability, but he's losing everything. Oh, he lost all of his Zerglings. Reinforcements arriving late, and the Spore colony goes down at the natural expansion. So S2 just killing the rest of the drones. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, it's definitely going to be it for Crazy-Hydra. Not a very good first game on your team, but what are you gonna do? It's like that for a lot of players when they switch teams. But GG, another ZVZ checked off for S2. And man, S2 getting 2 wins now for his team, and SKT's best players haven't even played yet. Ridiculous. Moving on to the third set.